All right, let's talk about a word that's absolutely central to leadership, but man, is it often misunderstood: influence. We all know it's a powerful tool, but what is it really? And maybe more importantly, how can we make sure it's a force for good? Let's dive in.
Okay, let's just get this out on the table right away. When you hear the word influence, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it can feel, well, a little uncomfortable, right? Kind of manipulative. It might bring up images of coercion or, shady backroom deals. It's a totally fair question, and it's one we have to tackle head on. So, to really get to the heart of what makes leadership work, the very first step is to draw a super clear line in the sand between what influence is and what it absolutely is not. We're going to build a new definition, one from the ground up, that's actually based on an ethical framework.
And here it is. This is the critical distinction. On one side, you've got influence. This is all about guiding thought, about driving alignment so everyone's working towards the same goal. But on the other side, that's manipulation. And that's about coercion and deception. You see, the real difference here is that influence is an ethical process, one that's built on a mutual understanding. Manipulation is just about control, plain and simple.
So, now that we've pulled those two ideas apart, we can start to build a much more powerful and, frankly, a more positive understanding of what influence is all about. We're laying down a brand new foundation, one that's built on integrity and a real sense of purpose.
Okay, so this is the core definition we're going to work with. Let's just break it down for a second. Deliberate. That means it's intentional, it's not accidental. Ethical. That means it's transparent and it's principled. And guiding. That's the magic word right there. It's all about helping others move forward, not forcing them to. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? This really gets to the heart of what we're talking about with leadership. The whole point isn't to win some argument or to trick somebody. It's about being a constructive force, something that shapes opinions and gets everybody, the whole team, pulling in the exact same direction. All right, so we've got the what. We've defined what ethical influence is. Now let's get into the how. How does this actually work out in the real world? Because influence isn't just a single skill. It's this really complex dance between a few key dimensions.
So truly effective influence is working across these four key areas. First up, you've got the psychological foundations. This is all about genuinely understanding what makes people tick, what motivates them. Second, strategic applications. This is knowing not just what to say, but how and when to say it to have the biggest impact. Third is formal authority, recognizing the power your role gives you and using it responsibly. And finally, and this is often the most powerful one of all, is interpersonal dynamics, the trust and the rapport that you build with people.
So why? Why does mastering all of this even matter? What is the real world's payoff for a leader who actually commits to building their influence in an ethical way? This is where all that theory becomes incredibly practical. The big takeaway here is that this isn't just some academic exercise. When you truly understand the architecture of influence, you become a much more self-aware and intentional leader. You literally shift from just leading by default to leading with a deliberate, thought-out purpose. And that sense of purpose, well, it leads you directly to these three incredibly powerful outcomes. When you master ethical influence, you learn to lead with clarity because your goals are totally transparent. You lead with confidence because you actually understand the dynamics at play. And you lead with integrity because everything you do is grounded in that ethical framework we talked about. And at the end of the day, this is the whole point. Ethical influence isn't some fuzzy soft skill. No way. It is the essential engine that lets you achieve ambitious goals while building that deep, resilient trust that really holds a team together. You get both. So I'll leave you with a question. Now that you have the blueprint for the architecture of influence, take a second and think about your own leadership style. Where will you begin to build?